Well, hello there. This is Sawdust Solutions. I am Buck. Today we're working on a hand tool woodworking bench. Stick around and I'll show you how we're going to do it. Okay, what we've got is I got two batons, 12 foot long, that I'm going to measure and cut them half in two. My bench is going to be somewhere around 6 foot long. Now once I get them cut half in two, I'm going to split them down the middle. In other words, one 2x10, 12 foot long, is going to make 4 boards. I'm going to pick out the best ones to make the top. I can arrange knots and whatnot around on the inside or on the interior or something, whatever I need to do. But I decided to do it with pine because of the expense, and I'm thinking you can make a bench too hard. In other words, if you make it out of hickory, I think it be like working on concrete. So I'm gonna try this and see how it goes. I'm ripping them down the middle now on the bandsaw. Well, I am looking forward to having a hand tool woodworking bench. I got me a Schoberg Vise. Really looking forward to it. But I don't want to use the table saw because this stuff is kind of in a bind, some of it. I'll have to do something besides the table saw. But I'm gonna have to come up with a different way. It's so wet in the inside of this boards, it's gumming up the bearings and the blades. So I may try my track saw. If I have to, I could use my jigsaw. But the first 3 or 4 went good, and then it really started caking up on the bearings and the blade. And on the wheels of the Bandsaw too, so I had to do a massive cleaning. Still ain't got it all the way clean. I'm gonna have to work on that. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and set up the track saw and see if that will work. You ready? This is a screw cut right here. Okay, here what I'm got going on, I'm just looking through the lumber and picking out the best ones. Okay, you want that top with your best stuff. The legs, you know, it could be a little substandard, but it's still good boards. But what I'm doing here, I go through and check straightness, and I check for the knots and where they're at, and the surfaces, and I try to get the best stuff, and I'm gonna get the top. It'd be 24, somewhere, depending on how it works down, it'll be somewhere between 23 and 24. And so that's what I'm doing right here, right now. Here I'm fixing the surface, getting it flat. And when I get the surface flat, I get the side perpendicular and get it to where I can put a 90-degree square on it and be square, and that'd be a good start. That'd be my reference right there. All right, this is the reference face. This is the reference side. All right, the old timers would mark this in a way that everybody knew where the information is. So we're going to do the surface, and we're going to make a reference mark on the surface. So what you do, you go right off the edge. That's saying that this is your resting surface. In other words, on a table saw, it will go down on the table. On the planer, it will go down. You do your cutting of that. However, on your joiner, if you've done your job on the joiner, you'll have a surface and an edge. So where that one off right there, you want to come right off of that. All right, and what you're left with is that right there, and whoever else in the shop is going to carry it further would know these are the references that they had to go by. In other words, on the table saw, this would go to the down and to the fence. On the planer, it means this would go down and you would cut this. So that's just, I just always thought that was interesting. And that's the way they would do it. And this right here would be telling everybody, and it'll tell you too, if you do 40 of these things and you come back, and you automatically know what you got to do here. What I've got here, I've got the sides parallel, the two surfaces parallel. Haven't done anything with the ends. Like I say, after the glue up, all that'll be took care of. I just checked my square. I've yet to find this and be off, just to verify. But I have checked this thing. It's at a square all the way around, and that's what you look for. Okay, I got my clamps lined up. I'm working on the top glue up, and I picked out the boards, and I'm fixing to put it. What I'm planning on doing is gluing them up into about 6 inches, maybe just a little less than 6 inches, 2 sets. Then I can handle them and go through the thickness planers and stuff like that and get them all square. Then what I'll wind up doing is gluing the 2 6s together to make 2 12s. Then I can go through the thickness planer one more time. Then when I make it final glue up, I'll try to have it just as close as I can to it, to where there'll be a little bit of hand planing, because at that time it'd be wider than my thickness planer. But right now I'm gonna get the boards in here, and then what we'll do, we'll try to get them glued up. I made me a little putty knife. I took a file and I cut me some grooves, because my favorite glue spreader. So you got a certain amount of open time, so there is enough glue in here that we kind of need to be in a hurry. So I went ahead and made this where we can get it. I need an even layer, and this will help me get it. So right now I'm gonna get the boards I got picked out coming in, and we'll get half of it done. And then I'll get back with you. What I'm gonna do here is lay this will actually be upside down. In other words, the good side will be on bottom, and with these rails right here, what it'll try to do, it will try to get them the top surfaces flat as we can get them. But there's going to be some. It ain't gonna be perfect. It's just hard to do because of the open time. I decided to just do half at a time. In other words, be half of the top. Hopefully somewhere between 22 and 24 inches will be the final width of my top. So to me, anything over 21 inches will be fine. I'm gonna put a tool tray over it, and I'm looking at, of course, when I get it in front of me, it may be different. But what I'm looking at, maybe an 8-inch tool tray with the perimeter of the tool tray will be the exact height as the top. That means if I had something over 2 foot, it can rest on the end of the tool tray, and plus I have place for the tools to go. I've been looking forward to this. Not glue up. I can't stand glue ups, but there ain't just no way to get out of it. However, I've been looking to having a real good hand tool woodworking bench. I've been making do with all this other, but what it'll do, it'll give me it will give me something. When that hand tool, you need enough mass there where it'll stay still. And I think this will be it. The legs will be pretty close to the same as the top for beefiness. So I am really looking forward to this. Basically, I'm doing 4 at a time. Okay. All right, let me get the glue and let's see what we can come up with. Went ahead and got me a gallon of glue, because usually this operation well, naturally speaking, it takes glue, if you know what I mean. So here we go. Let's see if we can't get this thing done. I will tell you one thing though. I always need some paper towels. So let's see if I can't keep it from just going everywhere. But I do need it to go on this wood and get a good coverage. I need to do better. It's just hard to. That fingers are just, they were made for spreading glue. I can feel where the starved places is. Without even looking, I can tell where glue needs to go. What's it got here? We need to get good coverage, excellent coverage, or this thing will fail. Well, if you think about it, I got this and this glued up. I'll have the same thing on the other half. That means another glue up here, and on the other one, then the final glue up. There's a lot of gluing going on here. A lot of gluing going on here. Well, I got that part of it done. I am, well, when you get finished with one, it sure makes it, I just proud of it, if you know what I mean. So, I'll get ready for, let that set up, and we'll get ready for the next one. We're continuing to work on the hand tool woodworking bench. So we're gluing up. What I've decided to do, I've got them in quarters, the top. We're working on the top. I got my best looking stuff that's going to be on the top. I got them in quarters now. Now I'm going to take the 2 quarters and make a half, and then when I get a half, I'll still be able to go through my thickness planer. And then when I get them both together, I'll have to hopefully get it close enough to where it won't take too long with the hand plane, or find somebody with a bigger planer. Yeah, I can handle 13 inches maximum. It looks like these are going to be 11, 12, something like that. What I tried to make was a glue spreader that really didn't work that good. I always wind up going back to my built-in glue spreader, if you know what I mean. So, I don't know. I just, it just seems to work for me. Nothing else works as well as my built-in glue spreader. Now I'm comfortable that I got good coverage. Got good glue squeeze out everywhere. So I think we're going to be okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, all right, we'll let that set up, and we'll see if we can't get her finished. Yeah, we'll get that set up. Yeah, but I'll tell you what, I've seen times See, I'm 67-year-old. I've seen times where I would not have thought twice, but they wouldn't pay it any attention. Oh, that sucker's heavy. The only thing worries me, I'm down there by myself. But got me, I might have to fix that. Not come through. But it looks like I've got 3 7/8. I'm sure once I put the two halves together to make my width, that I'm going to lose a little of that, but I'm pretty comfortable I'm going to get my 3 1/2. So yeah. I got the other half glued up. I'm going to give it plenty of time. Tomorrow I'll probably take it out of the clamps and work it out. And then I'll get back with you when I make a full deal. So I got to have this to its final dimensions so I know how to make the legs, the stretchers, and all that's got to fit it. So we'll take him out tomorrow and then we can go from there. Okay, so I'm marking off the reference. In other words, this is upside down, so it's going to be flipped over this way. This will be the side where the work is. So I'm using this, plus it's at perpendicular. This one I'm going to have to work on because it's not quite perpendicular, so I'm going to make sure I come off this side every time. So I come over here and I mark to the shortest one. Same thing over here, mark to the shortest one. And it's 6 foot, so that's going to be good. So now I'll probably take a track saw and cut these and try it. It'll get it perpendicular to it. I really like that track saw. It's a pretty accurate cut. On my miter saw, I'm going to cut the legs to length. I'm going for 37 1/2 right here. Give me enough room to cut the final length. I want the final length to be 37 inches. I've tried different heights of benches. 37 seems to work the best for me. And that's what you got to do. You're going to build a bench custom to you. You want it to fit you. It doesn't really matter as long as it fits you. Mine is 37 inches, and the consensus of everybody I've talked to, listened to, or what have you, my bench should be 35. But I've tried a 35, and to me, 37 works for me, and that's what you need to shoot for. That's the whole point of building your bench yourself, is to make it fit you. These are the 4 legs I got them marked off. They're 3 each. Them are marked C, and these is marked B. And them are marked A, and that's 1, 2, 3. So, I need the 4 legs to be in one set, but, well, I guess what we need to do now is get some gluing going on. So you don't want any air starved. I guess y'all know by now I like using my fingers. It shows me it'll stick to the starved places. So you need anything, any debris, anything like that right there, your finger will pick it up. I am lacking some stuff here. I like Titebond 3 for 2 reasons. One is the whole open time is a little longer, and it'd be good for outside. It can stand some moisture. Of course, it's all on what you like to use. All right then, that got me got the 4 legs glued up. Well, we'll let them, like I say, I've been giving them plenty of time. I'll probably let them sit till tomorrow, work on some of this other stuff. But yeah, well, when they come out, we'll work on gluing the stretchers up, get everything glued up and worked down. We're Mortise and Tenon the legs into the top. Things will start taking shape then. So we got the legs glued up. We'll take them out of the clamps and check them out. Then we're gonna have to, I need to make sure that these legs are, because for this thing to work, we're gonna have to make sure they're dimensioned properly. I need to be square because I'm going to make mortise and tendons. I hadn't made my mind up exactly. I know the front two, I'm looking at mortise and tendon. But the back two, I don't know whether to run the stretchers all the way to the back side of the tool tray or not. I'll show that to you here in just a second. But yeah. Yep, it's looking good. I'm going to, they got to be in good shape, sure do. So we're gonna, okay, there is a reason for the having an old set of chisels. And one of the good reasons is for this right here. We have got the glue droppings right there. What I try to do is knock them off. So what happens here is, hey, your blades last longer on your jointer, so I'm gonna have to run this through the jointer. Well, it just take a minute. Just all I'm trying to do is get the glue drippings off, if you know what I mean. Like that right there. I don't know. I just think it'll last longer. The blades. One thing about it, you take a sharp blade in the planer or the jointer. Actually, it apply to anything. Oh, sure, make your cut a lot nicer. Better finish. Not as hard on the machine. So, So I figure it's worth a few minutes. Just knock this off and have him blades last a little longer. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do, I'll get the other two and we'll knock them off, and then we'll get ready to, what I call dimension. We're gonna try to get these doing the same size. That's what we're gonna do. So I got the, I've got the legs ready to go. And what I done, I pull off my reference side, which is pull off the same point, everything. This is my point. This is the reference face. I pull off it, get all my measurements. That way everything is all squared away. So I'm gonna get my showbird vise out here, and we're gonna look and just see. I've got this thing further back over here than I do over there. And that's the biggest reason for that vise. Let me pull that out and we'll look at it. I could bring him legs on back just a little bit, and I may just do that. That's a pretty good distance right there. It's almost 9 inches. I may get bring him legs back a couple more inches. I'll look at that. But anyway, this is my showbird vise. There's some things that's got to happen. There's some spots right there that's got to be cut in, and there's a spot right here that's got to be cut in. But that's going to be the vise. So, and that's the reason why this is back further. I may come back this way a little bit more. I don't know. We'll look at that and see. But anyway, that's my vise. These are the legs. So I need to get them mortised and tenoned in. We're going to cut this part out right here. And we're going to mortise that in, and that'll be a tenon. Hopefully it'll look just like that, but mortised in. So, okay, I'm going to attempt to show you how I mark this off. I'm actually marking the tenon first. And right here, I line up where it's going, and I mark around. This will be the mortise in here, the tenons here. So what I want to do now, I'm going to mark this area here and show you how I come up with how much to cut. So basically, I got a kerf right here. This is exactly 1/8 of an inch. That's what I want sticking up, 1/8 of an inch. So this is where the tenon's going. Right here, this is what I'm cutting. So I turn it 180 degrees, set it right here. This is the height of the table, of the bench top. This is the 1/8 of an inch that I want to stick up. I take a, well, first I can take a pencil and mark that. I'm just wondering, you didn't see that, hold on. All right, first, I took a pencil and marked that. Like I say, it's going to be 1/8 of an inch longer. That's what that is. Then what I do, I take my knife, light patches to start with. And what I want to do is cut them fibers. And there's 2 reasons why I do that. Let me bring you up here and I'll show you. Okay, there's 2 reasons why I do that. Those 2 reasons why I do that is you can pull this across there and you can feel that, so you know you're there. So light passes it first. Actually, if I cut this out, you got a taper right here that's going to cause the fibers. Actually, I'm doing it backwards. So I would need to do it on this side. So I put the flat edge this way. It cuts the fibers. When I cut this out, it'll be a knife line right here. So I slide and I feel it drop in that knife line. Make sure I'm flat right here, and that means that square is in the right place. So I lightly cut it first. Then I get harder and harder and try to get me a good knife line. Now it's no problem finding it. But what that does, it gives you a knife right there to go down this way. And likewise over here, it's easier to take you're more accurate taking it around the horn with it. And what I did, I figured out where the center is. You get as close as you can, then you hit it from both sides. And I've got my marking knife marked in the center. So what I want to do here, we will go ahead and, so we're only going to go halfway right here, because this is the tenon. Give me a little bit. See, now the pencil will fall right in there. And that pencil is where you just help me see it, if you know what I mean. Now, again, just like the knife, the marking knife, because of the way the grain is, you make a light pass. Now, once you get it cut, each pass should be a little deeper. Roll it right across the edge and you're ready to go down the other side. So, see, that should hold straight right down that knife line. This here just helped me see it. So we got it marked here, here. We need to go here and here. Then that will be the chunk that's coming out. Still ain't decided how I'm going to do it. I think I'm putting a dado stack in my table saw. So what we do right here, and also what we did right here, let me bring on the other side. All right, what we did right here, if you notice the taper, see that? I see the taper here, and it's flat there. You want the flat to go to what you're keeping. In other words, this gets tore out. And what that does, it marks those fibers and cuts it straight down and gives you a finer cut by doing it that way. So, all right, let's go back to the other side. I have found that, okay, again, I'm gonna, when I come off the edge right here, I mark that to where you can find it, just falls right in there. So you know you're right when that happens. So what I do, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. All right, what I do, I find that knife line. I go right up to it. So light pass. Whoop, wait a minute. All right, we're going halfway. Light pass. Then you get heavier as you go. So now, this is the side we're keeping. Just like here, my knife, the flat was this way. You want the flat that way because that's the side that's staying. So, first pass, you come around off that edge, it gets you ready for the next run down the other face. The beauty part about this, I've got all four legs the same size. You can use the same marking knife. Okay. Okay, I just where I can see it. So, right here, we've got it marked here, here, and here. The only thing we'd like now is right here. And you want to take this to the same side every time. In other words, if we marked it like this one will go all the way around from this face, not this face. But that way, if you're off any, it won't come into play. So, again, first pass light. And a little heavier. Okay. Now, what we've got here, that this is going away. This is what's leaving right here. You need to mark these things. You go in there to, you move to in there to the table saw. What's going to happen, moving around there, you'll wind up cutting the wrong side. And most of the time, that's not good. You don't want to cut the wrong side. So there's no doubt what's leaving. You need to be able to tell it from a distance. There's no doubt what's leaving. So that one's marked off. I'm going to go ahead and mark the rest of them off. And then what I think I'll do, I can set up on the table saw with the dado stack, and it'll hog that thing out. That will give me a better surface. I can do it with a bandsaw. I don't know, let me study about that thing. The surface is a lot better with the dado stack than it is the base dado stack. Bandsaw leaves a little rougher surface. Okay, I got the legs to the workbench. I put me an auxiliary fence on my miter saw. I'm going to get my miter set make sure it's good and square. But you see where I got it marked off, I'm gonna establish me a stop block right here to where I can cut that and then hog the waste out. And that'll be set up for all 4 fences. So let me get the dado stacked. Well, the thing about it is, I hope you can see having another person with a camera would help. But if you remember, we're referencing off the side up here, and we're going to make these the same height. So I'm going to show you how I mark this off with the marking knife in order to get it cut. So basically what we've got here, I'm going to need to find the leg. This is the leg, and it goes flush with the and it, okay. Might be better from here anyway. So this is my reference side. So I'm making it the same place here. So therefore I'm flush with here. Yeah. So what I like to do, well, I've done kind of marked it, but that's where I come up with the marks. Okay, so after you cut the tenon, you line this thing back up. You want to see the mark, because when you mark an original, then naturally you've got to cut beside the mark. Make sure, okay, everything's looking. Okay, so with that marked, with that in place, I take me a knife, a marking knife. I just make a light cut. Before you go down very far, what happens is the grain won't make your knife walk. Oh, see, it walked. See there? You need to mark this side. The pencil's there so where we can see it. So, And take your time and get it like you want it. Once you go to cutting on it, it's kind of late then, if you know what I mean. That's where you get it marked off. And then what I usually do, being I'm left-handed, let's put y'all on the other side. So what I do, I find that knife mark. Hold if you're looking at it from here, you can hold it straight up and just give it a little tap. You just wanted to find that knife mark just a little bit. What you want to do is taper that dude right to that knife line to identify it just a little bit more. You kind of want to take your time right here and make sure. I got a wider chisel. Will make it easier right there. You'll make it now. The further you go, the rougher you can get with it. It's not time to get rough yet. It will be here shortly. Get just a little bit rougher with it. The further it goes, the easier it gets. Here in a minute, we'll be able to whale the tar out of it. So it's just about time to carry on. I hope y'all can see. Let me try to, right where I'm at, where you need to be. Let me try, I'm gonna try to do this and not get in the way, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Getting closer, time to go on. What I normally try to do, we'll go halfway, at least halfway, and then we'll flip the thing over and go the other half. You never want to pry on that edge. We got some nice crisp edge right there. This is just a the same way you do a mortise. Now we'll get far enough now, we need to find that knife line to get these sides. And carry it down as we go. Seems like the further you go, the faster it becomes. It's getting about time for me to sharpen my chisel. That's what you do. You just get her down about halfway, you cut your side. Get her down about halfway, flip it over, and it ain't long, you have it out. Okay, I got the mortise and tenon in the legs. I got the tenon in the leg, mortise in the top. This is the bottom, it's upside down. Now I need to do the dados. I'm going to do a dado here and here for the stretcher. It will go here. I've decided to put the long stretcher 3 inches from the bottom. This, of course, it's upside down. From the bottom, that way, kind of like a toe bump, you know, where your toe won't be bumping your toe. 3 inches, and then that way, if I want to do anything in here, I have enough room. However, we also need to put them on the side. I got 3 inch here. I'll probably go 2 inches, and then this stretcher will be right on here. So what I got to do now is cut the dados here. This one will be here, this and here, and so on. That'll be the long stretchers and the short stretchers. Dados next. Dados is a groove cut across the grain. That's what we're fixing to do, and it needs to be the depth of your stretcher. So let's go in there to the table saw and we'll get started. I've got my dado stack in my table saw. It's 5/8 of an inch thick. That's what I'm going to trim out. That I got more. I don't know, the nut is close to the end. I'm comfortable right there. This is a stretcher, so you want your dado this deep. So basically, if I want it this deep, I run it, it's got to be the depth of the stretcher. What I normally do, if anything, I want to be just short of it. That way I can add to it. If I get it too deep, I got to do something else. I don't know if you can hear that. I'll bring it just where it'll tick that. All right, hear it tick. So I'm comfortable. I'm not too deep, but if anything, I want to be shallow. I can dial it in once I do my dado. So that's got the depth. All right, I got the side of the dado stack. So this side right here is going to waste from there to there, or the thickness of your spreader. So now I'm ready to make a pass. I'm gonna see how it goes. Let's just see what we got right there. So what you do is you bring this in. I got a gauge right there to bring it to. That represents the width of the blade. Then you make a pass. All right, let's try again. All right, that's the pass. All right, now once you make that pass, you pull this out, and the piece that's going in it, and what you're cutting the dado for. All right, now that gets pulled out of the way. It's right on the line. Well, all right, using that technique right there, let's see what we got. What's a good fit, except I like just a little bit being deep enough. Hey, let me bring it around here and let you see it. So that is exactly what I'm looking for, except I need to go down that's what I wanted. I want to be able to, if you go too far, I mean, this way I can sneak up on it, make it the right depth, and that is what we're hunting right there. So, stretcher pieces, you need a good tight fit to keep it from racking. course, we're going to screw it in there too, you know. And we've got some pieces behind it I ain't put on there yet. It'll help from racking. I got just a little bit of hangover, which I was kind of shooting for the hangovers. Then now I can just come in there and take a plane and just be smooth then. But that dude, that's what I was looking for. Yes, sir. That is what I was looking for. Well, looks like we got that part of it done. I've just got it setting in there. But that's going to work out fine. That's going to work out good. I got some pieces glued up. There's the short ones. These are the short ones. They're going to go behind those long ones. These are the two longer ones. In other words, the longer ones will go behind back here. And it will butt. And I'm going to make it to fit, just to fit here. And that'll help with the racking. And it'll be glued here. Like I said here, and the short ones here and there. And the time you get all that together, glued and fitted in there, we're just going to be right there. We're just going to be right there. Yes, sir, we got that backing on there. We got it mounted. The only thing I forgot to trim it, but I can get that anytime. I'll get that squared away. Got the legs epoxied in. Yeah. Yeah, we got her. So, I got some help coming over here after a while. We'll get this thing unclamped, and then we'll get her stood up over here. And yeah, I'm getting excited. We almost got us a woodworking bench. Yeah, we got it. See, this is the area you're gonna see from the top. See, it's actually upside down. There's enough mass. I've added mass to it. I took my time and got these things cut to where it's right against it. So that's going to aid in helping the racking, if you know what I mean. So, the only thing I got left to do, I'll figure how I'm going to do that. But I got so excited about we're getting her done, I forgot to trim these. I was going to trim her down within less than a 16th, kind of like this. And see, this one won't be too bad. I can take a plane, knock that right off. That one's not too bad. These aren't too bad, so I might be in pretty good shape. If I had one, see, that in there is just right there. That and like this one and this one is my two main ones. Yeah, they're sticking out pretty good, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, we're gonna have a hand tool woodworking bench. Yeah, I am so looking forward to that. So when he gets here and we flip that dude over, I'll show that to you. That's a lot of table, isn't it? All right, if you're gonna just slide right over here just a little bit. Right there, that's good. Well, looks like we've got us a workbench. It's not completely finished, but I guarantee you I can clamp something down here and use it. I think we've hit a stopping point. I think what I'm gonna do is do a part 2 with the accessories, say the workbench accessories. Sharpening station will go right down here. Then I got a tool well I'm gonna put here, a Schoberg Vise I'm gonna put right here. I got dog holes that I'm gonna put it on both sides and down the legs. Probably a stop right here for plain stop. Just accessories for my bench. But I'm ready. I got a little bit more flattening to do, and that kind of just odds and ends. But for the most part, I have got me a bench. I'm telling you, I do this. Yeah, I am tickled with this thing. So I made it out of pine, made it a little cheaper, and another thing, it's kind of a prototype to the point where I'm gonna work with this thing for at least a year. And then anything, I got some maple out here that I will probably make one out of. I hadn't made my mind up between now and then where I'm looking at repurposing some poplar. They put poplar and oak. Maybe if I can get enough of that. And you see these ductile iron pipes being hauled up and down the roads. In between the layers, they got these poplar or oak. And I've got a place over here that getting ductile iron in. I may get me some of that and make me a bench or so, you know, out of poplar or oak, or I got this maple out here. But this right here is going to help me if I need to tweak the design or anything like that. This right here will give it to me. Or maybe I just go with this. I mean, you know, time will tell. May make me a cabinet down here with some drawers and stuff to store some stuff. That'll help against the weight of it. Because the mass, that's why you build it like this, where it don't give and it don't walk away with you. When you get ready to plane something, it stays right here. You ain't got to chase it. So that's going to do it for this video. Sorry it's a little bit long, but I really wanted to get to this point right here to end the video, and then I can do an accessory type when I add something to it. We'll do short videos or whatever we need to do. We'll cross that bridge when time comes, but I'm tickled to have my workbench ready to go. So until next time, y'all be safe, and I'll see you on the next one.